running arrows. Swood's giant bowler deck does have arrows in it, and that can be very, very useful.
Ew. Yeah, you're right.
But at the same time, Ash has gotten here with his Lava Hound deck, walking over giant and golem decks the whole way. So, I don't know. I could see it go either way.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would like to see Lava Hound win just so I could have the faith that my deck could win.
And along with that, Graveyard is in Ash's deck as well. So this might be the first time we see Graveyard in a winning deck here at the Clash Royale North American Open. But Rainey, what about you? Who you thinking has the slight advantage? Based on play, based on deck?
Worth mentioning, Giant Bowler has yet to win. Even though it's been very popular,
Really?
it has not actually been in any of the winning players' decks.
Okay.
It's made to the finals a handful of times.
But it's never won.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
If there's anybody that makes me
winners.
believe it's probably going to be Swood, based on the way he played against Razor, means that there's something that Swood is doing right. Of course, what does it mean if you're going against a Golem deck that has something like Baby Dragon, right? That might make the difference. So we'll have to see. It's hard to call. I think the advantage would have to go to Ash in my mind.
Okay, all right. So it looks like both players for Ash Swood, though. Again, just making it here is fantastic. Second place, taking home $500. First place, one of these two players will be taking home $2,000 today. They'll be moving on to the arena battles and then to the crown duels from there. $15,000 for first place on the line out of a total $100,000 prize pool and the chance to go visit Supercell HQ. That's what these guys are playing for. And also
Lovely
glory.
Helsinki, Finland.
Oh, Helsinki. The crispest air
Let's all go.
could breathe.
That's actually super true. It's really, really nice there.
All right, here is the finals.
Food's delicious. People are wonderful.
Altar of Elites versus TakeOver as far as the clans. So, TakeOver looking to start coming back to tie up Reddit Alpha for the number of players that have made the coronation.
Ooh, the cycle
Yeah,
of
you're right.
skeletons. Look at them. Look at them. They're just walking around in circles.
Oh, it looks so cool.
Ring around the road.
They're just attracted to
pretty
each other.
funny.
This is great.
You know, I think we should always end our coronation days with a dance-off.
Yeah.
And that's
it.
they're getting it started right away.
Thanks, Tombstone.
Oh, wow. River Golem.
Golem on the river.
That's a new card. The
Don't
River
see a
Golem.
lot of River Golems.
River Golem.
Oh,
Mega Man's
will
chopping
the
it up.
Mega Minion kill it in time?
It's
Oh,
gonna
we got
do
the
some
death damage.
But that Mega Minion's definitely going to come back. And actually, bad news for Swood, no Inferno Tower in either deck.
All right, here comes a miner to try to clear out the archers.
It does, and it's still alive.
Wow.
Oh, no, don't run away.
No, come back. All right.
Pups do lock onto the tower, and that's going to do a
gonna be
decent
so
amount of
many
damage.
guys.
And look at the Mega
The
Minion
tower's
from
gone.
downtown.
The tower's gone right there, getting melted.
Oh,
An
wow.
early lead for Ash. Only a minute and 40 left to go.
That
No,
Mega
Ash-
Minion had a Terminator walk from downtown and just walked up, killed a bunch of stuff, and kept
looking
on
at you.
walking.
Ash struggled in his earlier rounds, winning both of them 2-1, so he took an early loss, then have to come back and win. But ever since maybe game one of the top four, he has been in Terminator mode, just crushing the last two games in order to advance into the finals. And right here, only a minute and a half into the first game, takes the tower.
There's the Lava Hound drop on top, and that's going to turn that Baby Dragon away. Means the minions and the Mega Minion can do a lot of damage. Archers lock on, though, and will take down a few, and now the Golem is free on the tower, gets a death damage, and the Golemites are close enough to do a little bit of swinging and a little bit of hurting, and the only thing really stopping that from happening is the skeletons that are popping out one at a time from the tombstone. I don't know if that was a worth it trade. You're only now just not even to the crown tower on the left side. You're 500 health away. If you're trying to go for a 3-crown, you need a much more convincing push, I think.
One of the things okay, so he's got a little bit of better setup now because he has a good backline. It's already attacking the goal, and he's got to get rid of those archers, or the archers are going to do a great job picking off.
Oh no! Oh no!
Baby Dragon takes out the minion horde just like that.
We see how key Baby Dragon is. I think that tower's going down, and maybe Ash needs to switch to a 3-crown plan here.
I think it's incredibly unfortunate. Ash would have liked to play the Minion Horde a little earlier while the Lava Hound was still attracting
still a
the
big
Baby
push.
Dragon's attention.
Wow.
And this is a big push. Has to spend lightning to stop it. That's not what you want to do because now there's another Golem on the board.
Wow.
Do you just go for 3 crowns here?
He could. He can go down the left. Oh, he's going to go down the right lane. Go down the right lane, so it's pretty much the opposite side. It's going to be really hard because you can't really play the support cards behind the Golem because they've got to be on the right side to try to stop all that other stuff.
Come on,
Oh,
Lava
Baby
Hound.
Dragon, though.
The Baby
Proving why
Dragon
it's so good in these Golem decks. It clears out your biggest fear minions, and now this is at least 15 elixir worth of stuff pushing in on the tower.
Golem Logan. That's a stretch. But the Golem plus Log combo takes down the Tombstone and eliminates the skeletons that pop out afterwards. Gives very good uptime on the tower. Plus the archers will help out. And the Ice Golem is coming to give it the friendly hug. Ice Golem for the killing blow. Oh no!
What a turnaround for Swood.
Wow.
Swood using the GOG combo.
Shut down the Terminator there.
Yeah, I think that two things turned around that game, and it was actually the same play twice. Baby Dragon v Minion Horde.
Man.
Baby Dragon.
I was like, what Baby Dragon is this? That's a buff golem.
Oh, God.
Here's the thing.
That's pretty good.
He played Minion Horde hoping that the Baby Dragon would stay turned around and the Minion Horde could quickly kill the Baby Dragon. It doesn't have a lot of hit points.
Right.
But the Baby Dragon turned around just in time and along with an Ice Golem explosion, just aced that Minion Horde. That's 5 elixir on the board, off the board, right away, barely did any damage.
Yeah.
And then later on in the game, same thing happened. Played a Minion Horde, Baby Dragon turned around along with a Zap or an Ice Golem, something like that. Ended up killing the Minion Horde almost immediately, and both times the Baby Dragon were crucial in the counter push that took the tower.
Right, and he was able to come back from that river golem that you guys were so upset about at the beginning.
It was an odd play, yeah, but that just shows, I mean, Golem is a deck that has a lot of inevitability. Like, if you're both just going to sit back and play Elixir behind your King Tower, Golem is the biggest, baddest rock on the block.
Yeah.
And those pushes were scary. You don't have log. You know what I mean? I mean you have log. You don't have ways to kill those archers. Like, how do you remove the archers? How do you remove the Baby Dragon when lightning, log, zap isn't enough?
Yeah. One of the things I love about seeing that too is, again, going down so early, having a tower fall almost immediately. Usually we see no one come back from that. Say, all right, well, that's it.
I think he even said good game.
Yeah, he was like, that was it. You know, I'm out. But Swood, not losing hope, picks up game number 1 again in the best of 5 here of the finals. He can still use the deck again, and it looks like he's going to.
You're right, so you can get up to 2 wins with each deck. Thinks the Golem deck is his best chance of victory.
Ooh, the Mega Minion locks onto the Golem, and that one Archer does survive and will continue contributing damage. And this Golem is actually going to make it to the tower. All the skeletons in the back are doing a lot of damage, but not enough. One swing, plus the death damage, and now it's the Golemites, and that's a huge connection for Ash.
Gog.
Get the good old Gog.
Good old Gog.
The
and
Gog.
the Archers survived. If 2 Baby Dragon shots got on those Archers, it would have gone down. Killed them before the second shot came in, and they were able to contribute and stop those Golemites. 23-22, and the Golemites are still attacking on Swood's tower.
Huge push by Ash. And Swood is being put in the back foot. The bear hug. Oh, it's coming for the hug on the tower. Oh no, but it's spookier than it seems because Graveyard is coming to assist, and with just the Mega Minion and the slowdown from the Ice Golem, the Graveyard was actually able to pile on a good number of skeletons and chip that down to 609.
I think he's happy with that too. Like, I don't think he's going, oh man, I could have gotten more damage on the Graveyard. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too.
But of course, he found himself in this situation last game with a good damage lead halfway through the game. Got to be very careful. The difference here is, again, how are you going to kill that Baby Dragon? That thing is tough. There is a Mega Minion. There's Archers.
Okay.
Ice Golem in both of their decks. Tombstone in both decks. One big advantage for Ash is he's running Zap and Log. And that gives him a few more options in terms of killing some of those high-cost troops.
Golem makes its way across, and it's actually very, very healthy with the Ice Golem in the back, and I think this is Swood's big push.
Oh no, the Baby Dragon lives!
The Baby Dragon lives, and that's going to be able to defend against the Golem very, very well, plus the Mega Minion too, and so much damage being taken by Swood's Golem on Ash's tower, and we're only 40 seconds away. Graveyard coming up here, but that Ice Golem's going to tank up a fair bit. One Golem on the back gets a
gonna do enough.
good
It looks like it will.
Man, Graveyard.
Evens it up, but a second Golem on the way.
You're right, and this low-health Mega Minion still doing damage. That low-health Baby Dragon was doing a lot of work before they finally take it down.
I think at this point, Swood has actually hit a critical massive units. I don't know if there's a way for him to clean this up. There's so much elixir on the board, and Swood can use his extended drop zone to continuously reinforce. I think this might be a 3-crown.
Ooh, Ash is doing everything he can to stop it. The Ice Golem starts to tank, and he can't hit that last Archer who's chipping away.
There's the Tombstone. Good positioning, pushes those units away and keeps them off the tower for just a little bit, but 1,000 health left on that King Tower means that 3-crown is incredibly threatening.
And especially because Swood significantly ahead in terms of elixir. He was able to get a Golem down, and after the Golem was played, they were kind of close on their elixir, but he's going to race. It's overtime. Can he get there with a quick Graveyard on the tower?
Interesting thing is the King Tower is actually contributing to killing down the skeletons, and having that extra line of attack makes it makes Graveyard much less
not
effective.
looking good for Ash.
Uh-oh.
The Golem is still very, very healthy, and it can definitely do 1,000 points of damage. It's going to get 2 punches plus the death damage, and now the Golemites are on there. There's a good game, and I think it's over.
Just like that, Swood, 3 crowning. I think that's our 3rd 3 crown out of ever. Out of all of our coronation days. Congratulations. He picked up his 2nd victory. He still has 1 to go, but his Golem deck is out. Swood's Golem deck,
he heard us
done.
and was like, I'm going to prove you guys wrong.
Yeah, he goes, oh, Ash is the player to watch? Oh, really?
No.
Oh, you think it's Ash? It's me. Now, we have seen players come back from a 0-2 deficit, get 3 games, because just in case their decks now, if Swood's final deck doesn't match up against one of Ash's deck and he wins with 1, it could bode poorly for him. Is there any deck that Ash is bringing that's going to have a hard matchup against Swood's final deck?
I think it's probably the Golem deck that is the worst matchup because of the Graveyard, the Ice Golem, against the Bowler. It also has got Log and Musketeer and things like that. I think the reason why Ash switched off of his Lava Hound deck is because he wanted the Lava Hound deck against the Giant Bowler deck. Okay. So he does have a pretty decent matchup there. I expect him to switch back to Lava Hound, probably crush the Giant Bowler deck maybe once, but that's still maybe like a 60-40 matchup. You could absolutely lose against Lava Hound or with the Lava Hound deck. He's got to win twice with Lava Hound against Giant Bowler, and then goes into a crucial Game 5 with Golem Graveyard against the Giant Bowler deck.
Woo. One of the things I want, Randy, you mentioned that at that moment, Swood hit like a critical mass of units where there was so many pouring down, and because you have that extended drop zone when you take down your enemy tower, he was able to reinforce. I would have lost right there if I were Ash. Ash actually found a way to defend it, which was super impressive. What was one of the key? What was the key way that he did it? Did you see what card he used?
I think one of the big things was placing the Graveyard defensively. Just the frequency of unit spawning meant that it kept a lot of the troops off of the tower, bought enough time for the King Tower and the Crown Tower to shoot down the troops that were already targeted onto the structures of Ash. And with a few more cards added on and having the Graveyard essentially being a tank for them, gave them enough lifetime to finally chip away at that health, and then pushing the final troops off that tower with the Tombstone was the last thing that Ash needed to survive a little bit more. But that was an expensive defense for him because he kept on losing cards. He kept on playing Elixir that got removed from the board while Swood's Elixir remained on the board.
Right, and I definitely agree that when you say critical mass like that, when there's so many units all bunched up, melee troops, things like Mini P.E.K.K.A, Lumberjack, Mega Minion, become significantly worse because there's a 1-second deploy time. You play them, some of those troops just get melted. They don't even take a swing. Things like you really have to rely on cards like Archers and Musketeer to save you there, but they don't do that much damage compared when there's Golem, Ice Golem, Archers in the back, Baby Dragon in the sky.
All right, well, right now, again, ladies and gentlemen, Swood can taste the $2,000. He is 1 game away from being Coronation Day 8 champion. Let's see if he can do it, or will Ash from Altar of Elites be able to maintain and come back from this 0-2 deficit.
And we've only seen 1 3-0 sweep in the finals, and it was Swood's clanmate Flash.
What?
Oh,
TakeOver.
true.
That's right.
All right, he's got some shoes to fill. All right, Swood.
There's a big log taking down all the skeletons, and now finally does the Golem make it, and it's going to get the death damage on there, and the Ice Golem is going to die shortly after. Slows down the Bowler, actually, and gives the Golemites a few good punches.
Still not a huge fan of the River Golem there, because if you're trying to go over the top of someone else's strategy, you really want to be like, okay, you're playing your king behind, I'm going to play the Golem behind, because
building.
I'm investing more Elixir, I'm going to let the Giant come across, and then I can kill the Giant on my side while the Golem is just starting to cross on your side. You don't really want your tank to be the first one to cross the river, especially in these head-to-head matchups.
Now, Ash, interestingly enough, not bringing Lava Hound.
Yeah, I mean, Golem does have a better matchup from what we've seen, but I think that because he's relying a lot on this Graveyard, and of course you got Log and Bowler and stuff being pretty good there, it's not as good as I think some of the other Golem decks we've seen, but what do I know, because that Graveyard's going to take the tower down!
As we're talking, the tower on the side of Swood left going, melted, 20 seconds now remain. Swood has to find something, or Ash is going to take this first game, or the 3rd game of the finals.
Right. I think the key there is that Bowler on paper matches up really well because he's got that big splash effect, but it's a 2.5-second wind-up time. It's a pretty slow attack speed.
Big thing for Swood there was he played the Bowler and the Log that completely ignored the Golem pushing down the lane and tried to stymie the push that the Graveyard was generating. when you play 8 Elixir that does nothing to touch the Golem, you put yourself in a very, very dangerous spot, because then we saw the Golem make it to the tower and get a few big swings, and there were some even Graveyard Skeletons that were not in range of the Boulder's Boulder roll that got a few pokes off themselves. And I think that in that situation, you need a more efficient defense against Graveyard, because committing 8 to stop 5 when there's another 8 Elixir coming down your lane is not going to work.
So what went wrong there? With my Lava Hound deck, would that have been better against that, or was it just misplaying his deck?
Who's playing the Lava Hound deck?
Ash, right?
That's a dunk. Sorry, I'm kidding. Actually, no, I don't know. I truly don't know why he decided to go with the Golem deck there. I was assuming that he would try to take 2 wins with the Lava Hound deck and then kind of try to win with that Golem deck, but he's already proved the win out now.
Now he's got it.
Maybe he can actually switch to Lava Hound,
just do it
catch him
twice?
off guard.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that Ash is afraid of the arrows in the Giant Bowler deck, and that's what he's trying to avoid, basically. But you're going to have to pay the piper at some point, so... I don't know. He kind of has the option here. He can be a little tricky. He can play. He's got to win once with each of his 2 remaining decks. If your opponent is expecting Golem, we saw how the opening. Remember with Marcel Pino, the opening play can be kind of important here. So maybe you can switch it up. Have your opponent make a bad play early, because now you're playing Lava Hound when they think you're going to play Golem. Steal another win and go into game 5.
All right, well, we'll see if he can do that right now. Again, Ash trying to keep it alive. Swood still 1 more game away. If he can win 1, he'll take that $2,000, but Ash from Alter Elites looking to tie it up.
Oh, you're a good sport.
She is going to hurt you after the broadcast.
Yep. My problem is that I'm the oldest sibling in my family, so I'm just used to like talking infinite trash.
Sure.
And I'm an only child. I have no.
You have the thinnest
defense.
skin.
I have nothing.
What is this?
What do I
Swood just
do?
lets it happen.
Whoa.
Oh my god, that is definitely not an alive tower anymore.
Well, he's looking to trade towers here because he's got the Musketeer still at full health, and it looks like they're gonna trade towers because Ash only has 4 elixir, and I'm not exactly sure what he's gonna. I mean, I can't.
Oh,
Defensive
okay.
It's not the best thing too, because unlike something like Skeleton Army, the bowler might kill one of them, but then they swarm and.
Musketeer, stay alive! Oh, goes down there.
That was almost. I mean, he would have been better off zapping in that case. Zap would have done the same amount of damage there to the bowler and the Musketeer. I feel like Ash had a huge advantage and sort of gave it away by casting the defensive graveyard as opposed to log, tombstone, a lot of other things.
Still taking damage for it.
Yeah, I know, right? So you going to try to 3 crown?
That's a pass River Golem.
This is
9 elixir. I don't think he realizes that he's not as ahead as he thinks he is. Oh
no!
Behind by, I want to say 3 elixir, and he's paying for it now. Although that golem is going to do a pretty good amount of damage.
He only has 5 elixir to defend what potentially could be a.
Oh, no,
where are you going? Where are you going? No!
Where's the Mega Minion?
Oh no.
He has no elixir to play anything right now. Tombstone to try to retargets the bowler. That's gonna. Man, it might have been too little, too late though. In terms of 3 crown brace, if a giant gets played aggressively on that right lane, I don't know if Golem can be fast enough to actually take down Swood's King Tower, 2,000 health.
He needs to sit back and defend, try to stay alive here, and gain a little bit of an elixir advantage. That's a thing you could do.
Here's what's crazy. We just hit double elixir. All of this happened before double elixir.
No!
It's too late. The log.
Just like that, Swood! Not only finishing out the game with a 3 crown, but that just won him the entire series. Swood is our Coronation Day 8 champion. That was mass chaos. That was mass chaos in that last match. What he could do, is he going to go for the 3 crown? Yeah, he let that go. We're going to trade towers. Wow, congratulations, though. $2,000 to him.
What?
Rainy, rum him. Shall we explain?
I think that Ash fell apart. I think that twice in the series we saw that Ash had gained actually a very, very significant lead. In fact, I think in almost all the games that we saw in this finals match, Ash was able to take an early lead. But I think it was transitioning, the decision-making after he got that lead. How do you take that? So when we talk about you deal damage to a tower, right? You pay elixir.
Right.
Dealing damage to structures means you're paying elixir to do that. And so I think it was just when Ash had to pay back that elixir, when Swood was really making him, hey, I'm here. Here's my return. Here's my gift to you. Ash did not know how to deal with that. He wasn't making the right decisions, and like Rumham identified, the graveyard on defense, I think there were better cards to play while your tower is still alive and the bowler and the musketeer are attracted to the tower. There are better cards you can play to immediately kill those cards so that, okay, maybe you lose your tower, but your king tower is completely clean, and you've gotten rid of the damage on the board.
Yeah, two mistakes lost in that game. The defensive graveyard against the musketeer bowler, and then casting the golem, going for the 3 crown when he thought that he wasn't as far behind an elixir as he was. He was really far behind an elixir when he did that, and it opened him up to a pretty bad counterplay.
So no graveyard win tonight.
Ooh, but it's getting closer.
But,
It's made the top 4 before, now it's made the finals.
And also, we have no A. Swood knocking out our chance of having the perfect alphabet.
Oh.
Bring it in the end.
I did say it, though. Swiggity Swoody's coming for that trophy.
He's coming straight for that big trophy.
And look at this. I mean, there's just so much stuff that Swood has coming down the lane on the left side, on the right side. You just don't have enough elixir to block both of them, and Archer's just pinging away as they can, but don't do enough damage to take it down. Graveyard being played here is not as bad an idea as before, but then you get punished by lightning, and all of a sudden you're down 5 elixir, and your troop just got removed.
Wow.
It was him trying to cycle back to that tombstone and playing it just a little too late. If the giant had turned around and fought the tombstone, probably could have killed the giant and lived to fight another day. Granted, your king tower's in lightning range, and you're probably dead at that point, but right, maybe you always want to buy every bit of seconds that you can in order to try to make a comeback there. And unfortunately, it was 2 mistakes back-to-back that put Ash behind by, I'd say, as much as 6 or 7 elixir.
Wow.
And that's a really hard hole to dig yourself out of.
And just like that, Swood taking that championship for Coronation Day. Let's go ahead and pull up the bracket so we can walk through just the story of this night. Rainey, what happens?
There was a graveyard.
Yeah.
The graveyard made it very, very the graveyard made it very far. And the Lava Hound deck, actually, both of those decks were doing quite well. And I think on Swood's side, the first place winner of the tournament here went through some very, very tough opponents. I mean, Razor was doing really, really well in terms of just having an overall strategy and playing his cards at the right time and making sure he has elixir enough to play combos that he wants. His hot rider was very fantastic, and Swood was able to overcome that, and eventually Swood was also able to defeat Ash, who had good decks, but punish them on decision making, really.
Yeah, and our first giant bowler deck won.
Hey! Welcome to
Congratulations.
Welcome to the finals.
So not only is Swood taking home $2,000 and a chance to go to the crown duels and a total reason to call us all out and say that he's awesome even when we said he wasn't going to win, he's going to go down in Clash Royale history.
That's right.
So if you want to be like him, go to ClashRoyaleOpen.com and just play and win, maybe.
Yeah, play, win tons of money.
And
All you have to do is beat the best players in the game.
In the game, that's it.
Super
Super easy,
simple.
guys. ClashRoyaleOpen.com. We hopefully will see you here next. And next time, we are going to be broadcasting. So tonight's Thursday. Next is going to be Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are back a little bit earlier, so you guys can...
Go to bed earlier.
Yeah, you guys
we all need
so
it.
you guys can go to sleep earlier. And then again, after that, we are going to Sunday, Monday 6, same time, Wednesday 6, then again Thursday, 8 more. We are now halfway done.
Yes.
Halfway done the Clash Royale North American Open. It's been a fantastic journey so far. We hope to see you guys here the next time. Well, on behalf of everyone here at the Clash Royale North American Open, officially presented by Supercell, broadcasted out of the NGE studios in Burbank, California. That is Rumham and Rainey.
I'm Ella.
I'm tired.
Have a most ridiculous night.
It's very, very
Let's
late.
get some.
It's very after
Let's do
dark.
some evil skeevers.
Evil what?